Hey guys, welcome back to M3 Vlogs. You are here with me. Um, if you are new here, my name is Destiny, and I am here to, I don't know, I guess give you a little bit of entertainment. Kind of bored at the moment. It's Sunday. I've been in and out of it all day because I woke up this morning after, you know, after all the fun yesterday for Halloween, and my allergies were killing me, so I'm really not as happy and as good lucky as I usually am. I'm also using my laptop camera, which is weird. I've never actually um, filmed with my laptop camera before, so it kind of, you know, it's kind of weird, but, it's what I'm doing today. Um, if you hear a bunch of noise in the background, my husband is being extremely obnoxious. And my children are doing their homework, so they're finishing it up. They've done most of it most of the week, but where we had Halloween and where we were busy, I was letting them finish it up today. So if the camera is not right, it's because I have not used this camera on my laptop before. This is like the first time, so it's weird. It's kind of grainy. I don't know how it works. I don't know how well it will work. And my laptop is really dirty because my kids have had it. It's what they were using to do their homework with before the schools issued them their own. So it's a little messy. It is what it is. I'm also sitting here holding vampire blood. I did my nails. They are a baby pink. I don't know if you can see them or not. They look really good. I like the color. I went and got the other day. I went and got a bunch of new colors. This is that gel-like nail polish from LA Colors. I bought these from Walmart. They were $1.98, and I got this one's like a light, almost like a brighter pink, and this one's more like a bubblegum pink. So my daughter thinks they kind of look similar, but they're really not. So this one is called Gossip, and this one is called Girl Talk. So I also picked up a mermaid color, but I have it put up for right now. It's in my little container that I use. But I wanted to share with you guys. I know that a lot of places are going back into lockdown mode right now because of the rise in cases, pandemic cases. So I know there's a lot of places going back into lockdown, and I know that that's one of like the worst things that can possibly happen right now because everybody's so stressed, and it's getting to where it's the holiday season, and we don't have very long before Thanksgiving, and it's my makeup bag. I was closing it. It was still open. Before Christmas and Thanksgiving and stuff comes up, so it's gonna be hard to spend time with your families and stuff. Our family personally, usually we do a big church dinner, but we've decided to forego that this year just to be on the safe side. We have some essential workers in our family, and we have some that work with the kids, so we have to be really careful about that. So we're just not gonna take the chance. So we will be having just a small, just the my family, my kids, my husband, and we will just be doing our small Thanksgiving here. So you will still get some baking vlogs. You will still get some maybe some recipe vlogs. I'm not for sure. I don't know what I'm really gonna do for that. We'll figure it out as we go. But you can hear my dog barking in the background too. He probably saw a leaf or something. It's really windy here today. I mean, it's really, really windy here today. I don't really know. It's like I'm looking out the window and the trees and stuff are blowing so hard right now. Kind of hoping all the garbage manages to make it to the actual garbage man in the morning. I'm thinking it's going to be all over the neighborhood by morning, not just mine, but everybody's. So, yeah. So I have come up with, as many of you know, I've talked about it before. That I do live with anxiety every day. It's something I take medication for every day. I actually take my medication at night because I feel like it stretches out longer during the day. Like it helps me at night, and then it helps me more in the morning, but I need it more at night because that's when my brain's not active. with, or that's when I have less time to think about things, is during the day. At night, when you're laying in bed and you're thinking about everything in the world, that's when my anxiety gets really bad. And I don't know if it's like that for, I don't think it's like that for everybody. I think it's just, it depends on the person and the person's anxiety. But I was diagnosed with it 2 years ago, in 2018. Yeah, 2018. And I have struggled with it daily. I've struggled with, number one, I struggle with trying to find the right medications to help get rid of a lot of the, uncontrolled thoughts, the uncontrolled emotions, the uncontrolled, situations that were going on inside my head that made it harder for me to express myself without getting angry, or made it hard for me to cope with certain things, which would cause panic attacks and would cause, anxiety attacks, and would just make life harder. And the one thing that we really don't need right now is life to be any harder. So, I have, over the course of the 2 years, I have had to find different ways, different things to make anxiety, to try to alleviate the symptoms of it. I've come up with my own ways. Right now, where mental illness is so high on the spectrum because of, you're stuck inside. You can't really spend time with your family. You can't spend time with your loved ones. You can't go out. I mean, you can, but, in some places that are going back in lockdown, it's not going to be able to happen. So I came up with some ways to help alleviate anxiety. Now, you can follow these, or you may have your own ways. That is totally fine. But for those that are just now starting to deal with anxiety, like I did, I didn't have, I would Google search, but I didn't have a guide. I didn't have a guide to help figure out how to get rid of it, because I dealt with it for so long. And I want you guys to, even if I can help one person, get outside of your mind. Don't sit and just think about things, because that makes it worse. If you allow yourself to fall into that pit of anxiousness, then getting back out is a lot harder, and it makes you tired. It wears you out. It mentally and physically, it drains you. So I've come up with some ways to help alleviate anxiety, and these are things that work for me. Every person is different. If you have your own, that is perfect. If you don't, feel free to use some of mine. Okay. One thing I notice, number one, is music. Now, I have certain types of music that I like for certain moods. Now, my main go-to music is rock. Okay, I do like all kinds of music. I'm not just one type of music. I like all kinds. I like a variety. So, but for me, I found that just listening to the music doesn't help. I have to put the headphones in my ears. I have the earbuds, the noise canceling earbuds. I put them in my ears, and I close my eyes, and then that way I can't hear or see anything else. And I just let the music play in my head. And then I get into it. And then I start singing along with it. And then I start getting to where, you know what? Everything that's going on inside my head is gone. The only thing that's going on inside my head at the time is music. Nothing else. And it helps ease the anxiety. Now, for those of us that may have a higher anxiety, I would say go with something a little more like calming. But if you want to start out with something rigorous, that works too. And then just slowly lower the intensity of the music. So that way it helps your mind. Your mind is up here when you're anxious. It helps your mind calm down. That way you're not stuck in the, up here, you're just anxious. Everything's just driving you crazy. Put in your headphones, take a break, take a deep breath, relax, and let the music do what you want it to do. If you let everything else go and just focus your mind on the music, on the beat, on the sound, on the, the notes, the words, whatever, it'll help. And it really does. I found that is my biggest go-to to alleviate my anxiety, or music videos. Something that has to do with music. Like I have on my big computer, I have a whole Spotify playlist of things that I'll listen to when I start feeling anxious, and I'll do it at night. I'll listen to my playlist before I go to bed because it helps. I've noticed that it helps me. It even helps me rest better because like my brain is not on all the constant stuff that's causing the anxiety. So the first one is music. Whatever you have to do, use music. Earbuds. Those little earbuds, little wireless earbuds, you can get them at Walmart for like $9. Bluetooth, add them to your phone, put them in, let them roll. Okay? Music is the biggest one because it does help you get out of your head. I know. I know from experience. So, number 2 is working out. Now, it does not have to be, you don't have to go to a gym. You don't have to, go out and buy this big fancy equipment. You don't have to do any of that, okay? When I feel really anxious, that is actually making me angry, the best thing I do is I go for a walk. I'll put in, again, the music, the earphones, turn it up, put it on something that will make my heart rate, increase, and I'll just take off on a run, or take off on a walk, or, do some sit-ups, do some squats, do some push-ups, do jumping jacks, whatever it is, because you're getting your heart rate up. You're getting your heart rate up, you're getting a good cardio workout, you're getting a good muscular workout, whatever it takes to help, your brain get off of what is causing the anxiety. So I found that working out helps too. But I also add music to that because sometimes one thing might not work. You might need to try a combination of things. So be sure to try a combination of things because it will help. You will find something that will help you. So working out, you don't have to go to the gym. I'm not a fan of gyms because number 1, I'm a big girl, okay? Number 2, I'm not the gym type. I'm more of a germaphobe when it comes to the gyms, and some of them just aren't on that level with me. So, the third thing. Bake something. Cook something. Sorry, bringing in laundry. Don't worry about perfection. Don't worry about whether or not it's going to be edible. Don't even worry about, ingredients or whatnot. If say you have a recipe memorized in your head, that makes it even better. Find a good recipe. Start putting things together. Pull out a big a whole chicken, toss in some lemon pepper, some herbs, some, whatever, butter, and, baking and cooking. Because it takes your mind off of the anxieties. It helps you alleviate the stress because you're not worrying about what the anxiety is causing or why you're anxious. You're focusing on something else. Now, I like to bake in the fall time, and I notice a lot of that has to do with because I get more anxious in the fall time than the winter time because there's not as much to do physically. So, I'll bake or I'll cook and I'll listen to music. The two things together, there's always usually two things work for me. Just get creative. Don't have a set thing in mind. Just be creative. Yes, you might end up having to throw it in the trash. You may end up having to dump it down the drain. It doesn't matter. Just something to help you get out of that anxious mindset. Okay, number 4. And I have them written down. I wrote them down because it just would be so much easier. Read a good book. Now, I'm not talking about go in there and read a book on mathematics unless that's what you like. Don't read something that's going to bore you to death. Read something that you're interested in. Read something that will, again, help you get out of that mindset of anxious. It'll help take your brain off of what is going on in your head. If you can concentrate enough, open a good book, read it. Even if it's just, take the book and read the description of it and see if it's something you would be interested in. You can always try that if, if that's your thing. Read a book. I read, I listen to music, I draw, I do a little bit of everything. So, reading is really good for anxiety. Now, if you don't like books, that works. If you prefer a movie or something, some form of entertainment other than sitting there and letting your anxieties eat away at you, because that is going to cause a lot more stress on your body. Number 5, and this is one of my favorite things to do when I do get really anxious. I rearranged my furniture, or I'll clean a room. But, here's the but. I don't just do it by itself. I will turn on, my music, whether it be on my headphones or whether it be on, the iHeart on the TV or whatever. Add music, get into your groove, and clean. Rearrange furniture, move things around, organize shelves, organize your pantry, do laundry, change sheets on your bed, dust the furniture, sweep the floors, mop the floors. I've noticed that when you are active, that is the best time to get all the anxieties out. You're physically draining yourself. Your mind is mentally focused on the music and on the task that you're doing. It is not focused on the reasons you're anxious. It's not focused on other things that can, now if you're really, really upset, you had a really bad day, you're so anxious, you just want to scream. That is the best time to add in two of the options that will help alleviate the anxiety. Add 2 of them. Add 3 of them. If you want to cook or listen to music and, have some food going, by all means, if you're a multitasker, do it. I can be a multitasker on some days, but then I have days where I'm lucky to get one thing done. So I know how it is. Okay. Number 6, and this is a good one for me. This is one I really, really like. I find that if I get really, really anxious, one thing that does really help is to go shopping. Now, grocery shopping. If you have to go to the grocery store, if you don't want to spend a lot of money on it, go to the Dollar Tree. Okay? Just go. Wear your mask. Be safe about it. Walk around. Look for things. You might find a cute little decoration for your home. You might find a cute whatever. But go to Dollar Tree. Go to Dollar Store. Go to the Walmart. Go to, Publix. Whatever store you have near you that's not, overly expensive. If you have to go to the grocery, do that too. It just makes it a lot easier. It's helping you take your mind off of that anxiety. Mainly, the main point here I'm trying to make is you have to find something that's going to take your mind off of the anxieties that are stressing you out. Okay? I mean, life is stressful, and especially right now, everything's so hectic. I even find myself getting stressed, and that is why I use music, and why I use books, and I use my writing, and I use my vlogs, and I use different things to help get me out of that mindset. It's not always easy, and I do find myself spiraling down into a pit of, I just hate everything right now. Everything is just crazy. I just can't focus. I just can't get my mind where I want it to be. I feel, my chest hurts. I'm anxious. I just want everything to just stop. But unfortunately, life doesn't always go the way we want it to. So I had to find ways to help, because I have 5 kids. That is a lot of stress. Sorry, my light back there is really bright, but 5 kids, and that is a lot of stress, okay? And they do cause some anxiety sometimes, don't get me wrong. Being a mom is one of the most anxious jobs you can have, because if your child falls down and gets injured, guess what? You're going to freak out. Your child comes to you with blood coming out of his leg or whatever, you're going to freak out. I already know, because I do too. I've actually had a panic attack. Well, one of my sons got hurt last year, the year before last, and yeah, I had one before that. He put his hand through a plate, how you have like those glass back doors, they have like the grids, and he went to shut the door, and he had his hand on the glass, and he shoved his hand through the glass, and when he pulled his arm out that it sliced up his whole wrist. He ended up with 7 stitches covering his wrist. It was like the whole side of his wrist. I remember holding his wrist closed because I thought that it had hit his vein. I remember holding his wrist closed, but I didn't freak out. I didn't panic at that point. Now, my other son, last year, he ended up with, his brother hit him in the head, scraped his head with a hammer. My husband left the hammer out because he was putting shingles up, and we had taken him to the hospital. It was a tiny little nick. It wasn't even a centimeter. I mean, it was like the tiniest little cut, like a paper cut. But it bled so bad that was my panic attack mode. So, trust me, having kids And being a mom and taking care of other people, it stresses you out. It makes you anxious. It's not even just being a mom. You can be a dad. You can be, an uncle. You can be a brother, sister, cousin. It doesn't matter. You have to find ways to alleviate your anxiety because it makes your life better. Getting rid of those and finding things that work for you. I do struggle. Sometimes the music doesn't help. Sometimes the medicine doesn't help. Sometimes, moving around doing things, they don't help. So I have to find other ways. If you're able to go for a drive, I think it's number 7. I think that's what I'm on. Get in your car, turn up your music, and cruise. Don't have no destination in mind. Take a cruise around the block. Take a cruise down a country road. I found that is one of the most peaceful solutions to my anxiety, is just to drive. Well, listen to the music and drive. That is it. It helps so much. I love to go for a drive. I mean, from my house to the next county is about 25 minutes, and it's a long stretch of road. And I find that when I get really stressed, taking that road with the music up, the windows down, especially on a nice day, this is the best possible stress relief. I just enjoy it so much. And if you live near a beach, that'd be even better. Roll your windows down, turn your music up, and just cruise. No destination, no, whatever. It doesn't matter. You're just trying to get out of your head is what you're trying to do. Okay, number 8. If you have kids, play with them. Get out of your comfort zone. Don't think that it makes you, Sorry, that is my dog. He thinks he's so scary. But don't think that you cannot, sit on the floor and have a tea party with your little girl. Don't think that you can't sit on the floor and play cards with your little boy. Sit down and play with them. Ignore everything else. Yes, there's housework. Yes, there's laundry. Yes, there's dishes. Yes, there's dinner. Let everything else wait for that time. Doesn't mean you have to stop everything all day. Just let it all go for that time being. Take 20, 30 minutes. Sit down and play a game with your kid. Sit down. Play with toys. Sit down, play with Play-Doh. Sit down, draw pictures. Sit down, just do something to stay, get creative. Play with your kids. And then it also helps alleviate your anxiety. You're doing 3 tasks in one there. Yes, everything else is waiting. You know what? Everything else will be there. You might not be if you do not, get your anxiety under control. Because anxiety, panic attacks, all that stuff is really bad for your body. It causes stress and strain. It can cause problems with your heart. It can cause problems with your mind. It can tear you down mentally, physically, and emotionally. So if you're having trouble with it, you have to find ways to cope. And I know it's not easy. I know for a fact it's not easy. I've got some crazy family members, let me just say, but you have to find ways to deal with it. And it's not easy, but I think it's doable because I manage it every day. Now, the final one I have is to talk to someone you can trust. And I don't mean your spouse. I mean, I guess you can talk to your spouse. If your spouse is a good friend, yes, you can. If your spouse understands you, yes, you can. If, you have someone that will be there for you, whether it's a spouse or not, significant other, best friend, cousin, brother, sister, whatever. Talk to them. Just tell them, look, I'm struggling right now. Can you, help me out? I don't need much. I just need a little bit of help. And then, make sure you can trust them. And if you don't have anybody to talk to, write out your thoughts. Get a notebook. That's what I do sometimes. Get a notebook or piece of paper or whatever and write out your thoughts. They do not have to be in any order. They do not have to be in any, whatever. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just write out your thoughts like terrified, scared, angry, obsessed, want this to happen, don't want this. Just write it out, whatever it may be. Get it out of your mind because I promise it helps. I have journals, I have notebooks, I have paper everywhere. I mean, number one, I'm a writer too, so I do have a lot of paper everywhere. But I also have, type it out. I have two computers, an iPad, and a phone. So, I'm sure everybody's technologically, fulfilled like me. So just, type it out. If you're on your phone, pull up usually most have like a little note app. Use that. Type it out. It doesn't matter. You don't have to keep it. You don't have to mess with it. Just write out your thoughts. And when you're done, sit there, reread what you wrote, and once you get to the end, rip out that piece of paper, open that app back up, delete it. The paper, rip it up and throw it away. And be done with it. That is if you don't, if that's what you want to do, tear it up. And that way, all of your anxiety and all of your stuff goes with the trash. It's gone. It's out there. It's not in your head. It's not, in the forefront of your mind driving you crazy. It's gone. I mean, it's not always going to help. And like I said, there are going to be things that make, it's going to be challenging either way. But find things that work for you. These are things that work for me. And my things might not be the same as some others. But then again, you might be able to get some ideas from this vlog about being able, to help yourself. We don't always have people. And right now, people are hard to come by because we're not really, you're not supposed to be around very many people. So, but the biggest key to helping get rid of your anxiety is to find a way to get out of your own head. It's like a trap in there sometimes. You just got to get out of it. You just got to dig your way out of it, claw your way out of it. However you have to get out of it. Get out of it. And changing the way that that you see it, it's a challenge. You have to overcome that. And, it will make you feel so much better about living with anxiety. It sucks. Let me tell you, it sucks. You don't always have control. But if you can find ways to help control it, it makes it easier to live with. And I would know that. I was diagnosed 2 years ago, but I'm pretty sure that I've been living with it for, I'm going to say since I was in my teens, since I was a teenager. I had a lot of stuff go down in my, my early childhood years and all the way up until I hit 19 and stopped giving a damn about it all. So it's, life's not easy. And if you're one of those that you had a challenging, upbringing and, you didn't have the best of things, situations, then, you have to find ways to work around those. It really messes with your mind. It messes with your emotions. It messes with how you feel. It messes with everything. But, don't expect it to all go away at once. It won't. It takes time. But if you practice some of the exercises that I list in this video, you should be able to find something that works for you and helps get you out of your own mind. But yeah, I plan on doing another vlog, probably on a different type of, I don't know, maybe we'll see if we can come up with some more ideas, see if I can find ways to help. Because that's one thing I do like to do. I like to help people, and I know what it's like to suffer and deal with, a mental illness. And right now, mental illness is one of the, biggest threats next to COVID. So I hope you all have a great day. Feel free to subscribe. Feel free to comment any ideas below. Follow me on Instagram. Hit your post notification bell. That way you are notified every time that I upload. And I will see you guys in the next vlog. I'm not for sure when it's going to be, but I will see you in the next vlog. So take care and have a great night.